Hello, this is Justin and welcome to today's quick tip. I'm going to be going through how you can tell apart differences between a vintage style Stratocaster and a modern Stratocaster. The differences can be categorized into two broad categories, namely the neck design and hardware. So I'll start with the neck. Firstly, all 50s and all vintage style Stratocasters will have this design feature. The truss rod adjustment is at the base of the neck instead of the top of the neck, like all modern guitars. So the problem with this is that you have to remove the entire neck just to get to the truss rod adjustment. This may be a disadvantage, but trust me, I've only adjusted my truss rod once in the 3 or 4 years that I've owned it, so it's not as if it's a very major adjustment you have to make all the time. The second thing about the neck is that, as you can tell from this angle, the neck curvature is quite pronounced. If I have to zoom in slightly, you can see that the radius actually is quite high, something in the region of 6 3/4 or something. This has quite a pronounced effect on the way you play the guitar. You automatically have to curve your hands in a certain way in order to play this style of neck. Thirdly, about the neck, you can tell that the frets are actually quite tiny. I don't even know what size these are. So a modern guitar has medium jumbo frets, and these must be vintage tiny, minuscule frets. And when you flip the guitar over to this side, you will find that this neck shape is very strange. Modern guitars have what we call a C-shape profile, which is a nice soft shape to be able to play, and it's easy to play that shape. This is a V-shaped neck, and it's nearly trapezoidal or something, and this is quite difficult to play when you first get it, but when you get used to it, it's not too difficult to get your hands around. The final thing about the neck is that at the headstock, these tuning posts are actually smaller size than modern tuning posts. So a word of caution for you guys who want to swap out the occlusion tuners for locking tuners, you'll find that you only have a very few select number of brands who can actually have tuning posts that are small enough to fit through the occlusion style tuner holes over here. So just be careful about that. Okay, let's move on to hardware. Now, a vintage Stratocaster will have something called a low mass bridge, and these are vintage style bridge blocks. And as you can see, they are quite significantly different from the modern high mass bridge blocks that they use. The thing about these is that they tend to have a very bright sound, so it's not to everyone's taste. And the second thing about hardware that you should note is the pickup selector. Now, vintage strats only have 3 sounds. They have the bridge, the middle, and the neck pickup sound. So consequently, in the pickup selector, a truly vintage guitar will only have bridge, middle, and neck. I had to modify my guitar slightly so that I have 5 positions, and the 5 positions are bridge, middle, neck, and neck. And if you ask me, the Stratocaster's sound and the characteristic Stratocaster sound is in the middle positions, as in this position where it's the bridge in the middle, you get that very nice quack, and the middle and neck, that in between position, this is, I call it the gravity tone, because it sounds exactly, that's how John Mayer gets his gravity tone. So I would strongly recommend modifying the pickup selector so that you have 5 pickup combinations instead of 3. And finally, the thing about vintage Stratocasters is that the tone knob is not wired to the bridge pickup. So if you go all the way back here to the bridge pickup, you're going to have this, regardless of what this tone setting is set to, it's going to be very, very bright. So I had to modify my Strat so that at this position, I'll still be able to use this tone knob to control the tone of the bridge pickup, and it's very nice to be able to roll off some of the high end, especially if you don't want to have a Elvis Presley, sort of tone or something, the tone from the 50s. Oh, that's it for me. Hope you found this video informative, and if you have any questions, comments, raves, or rants, please post them in the comment box below, and I will try my best to get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching. This is Justin signing off.